Alright, these are the systems, so I'm guessing we get there from over here, or maybe we just have to do a blind jump? A fire broke out on one of the decks during the warp voyage. The raging disaster consumed the entire chamber, destroying precious cargo and destroying the interior plating. No guilty parties were found. While clearing out the rubble, a few people claimed that soot on the plasteel beams formed lines in a cryptic alien language not known to humans. The delirious workers were executed and their bodies disposed of in the proper manner. The ship left the hostile immaterium and returned to real space. Hold on. How are the... Oh, wait. We got a little button here? Right, we had a contract that was unlocking. I guess that's what this is? I've never noticed this little button here before. Alright. What can we do? Thousands of believers are flocking to Foulstone in the hope of serving the Emperor. Their energy can be directed toward the colonization and conquest of new worlds, as commanded by St. Drusus. The construction of pilgrims' arcs will require enormous resources, but wealth is nothing to the true believer. The charge ability gains additional damage equal to the wearer's willpower bonus against demons and Xenos. Not amazing. Oh, oops. Shrine worlds are treasures of the Imperium, spiritual gems shining in the darkness. For Foulstone to become a shrine world will require... I just noticed this button above Janus. For Foulstone to become a shrine world will require an ocean's worth of thrones and bribes to the greedy ecclesiarchy officials, as well as mountains of extremely rare materials to erect cathedrals worthy of the status. However, succeeding will give House von Valenska's prestige and the Order of the Hammer's eternal gratitude. All damage dealt with this weapon when this weapon pushes an enemy is increased by 100%. So you use shove, you do double damage. 40 damage? That's pretty good, even without a crit, right? And everything else goes up? This seems like the easy choice. It's happening on Janus. The Lord's Captain's presence will be required. Shipwreck. Fuck, I already went past Janus. God damn it. What we got here? The inhabitants of Janus are restless. The Adeptus Mechanicus are ready to run experiments on serfs to create improved enforcers for defense of the agri-world. This is not a very exciting option. Lord Captain, a strange anomaly has been detected on Kirvia Gamma. A series of orders, defined as Procedure 0C, forced itself into the production algorithms. The servants of the Omnisire define its execution status as most sacred, and therefore follow its instructions impeccably. In just one cycle, cameras were erected in all manufactorums, connected by the computing channels of the cogitators. They make a pattern similar to those applied to the digital cells of the machine's spirits. The 0C procedure commands Magi with an above-average psi receptivity index to enter the cells. Those tech priests who took their seats in the cells fall into a blissful data dream where they listen to the binaric hymns, very similar to those that periodically whirred from the warp vox of Cubist Delphim. The performance of the manufactorums has dropped. Many of the machine god's servants have abandoned their posts and are pleading for the privileges of fulfilling Procedure 0C, but the enforcers have taken custody of the cells and ward those volunteers away from them. What do we know about this procedure? Could it be part of Delphim's legacy? We cannot trace the source of the signal that activated it, or figure out what it means. The tech priests oppose the idea of researching the procedure as it violates the sacraments. Supposedly, the minds of the magos immersed in the cells are involved in some grand-scale computation. The servants of the Omnisci have tested the cognital network 7 times with purifying algorithms of various degrees of severity, proclaiming it clean. They would say this regardless, though, if it's something they're interested in, right? Perhaps my advisors have a few words to share. These things need to be filled with high size sensitivity tech priests? Okay, but why use our servants? Look in the remote stations and outposts of those who were banished into the wilderness as unfit, and there you shall find 3 times as many more suitable candidates than in the manufactorums. Psi receptivity rarely goes hand in hand with high rationality, and such tech priests often end their careers in the wilderness. Are they singing? It is surprising that your race was able to achieve such a harmonious form of interaction with man-made tools. My kinsmen also use psychoacoustic harmonicas to guide our creations. I am not a bone singer myself, but I might be able to tell your servants of certain principles regarding how the universe sounds. I find this sacrilegious suggestion to be in breach of Data Unity Protocol. A signal seemingly from nowhere that has the highest execution priority. A perfect weapon for capturing the planet. It should be anathematized, and I am ready to summon a cadre of competent Texorcists from the Texorcists from the Inquisition. I wasn't until I fully read the word that I realized what I was saying. This is a weird one, right? I don't know. I'm not too terribly trusting of this, especially since they've mentioned Delphim by name. Delphim wasn't exactly great. Research this procedure. We have to know what we are dealing with. Your will be done. Your servants have started their interrogation, seeking to determine the nature and purpose of the mysterious procedure. They've encountered ancient creations of data smithing, impossible in the current times, and have been filled with a great awe. They could not fathom the wisdom of the digital archaeotech. Great. Now, we can do motive force. This was... we must have looked at this, right? Hosting an electro-priest monastery. Lighting up the sky with a mighty magnetic radiance, this formidable power complex will house thousands of gigawatts of the blessed motive force on the planet's manufactorums. This probably can be used to remove all I remember this, yes. This is a good item. Mag trains is profit factor. Efficiency. Give me the motive force. It's also big explorer RP. I don't like the sound of that. Lord Captain, there's been a tragedy on Dragonis. Governor Drivestem has been dedicating most of his time to restoring the astropathic choir lost to the warp storms. But the psychers he assembled were struck by an unknown assault. They heard something, and it has cast them into madness. The astropaths have lost sleep, clawed at their skin to the flesh, muttered gibberish, and now they've gone completely berserk. They had to be eliminated, and now only a few of the more resilient astropaths are upholding the connection to the Dragonos. But how long will they last? Where did the former astropaths come from, and can we get more of them? I've received complaints that Governor Drivestem has devastated the minor astropathic choirs of the Protectorate. He scaled them down by almost half through blatant abuse of his authority. To take some more people from these choirs would mean depriving ourselves of the connections with other worlds. We could try to hire sanctioned psychers from other domains, but they will be few as the road to the Imperium is perilous. We can try getting by with the resources that are already available to us, seek out the unsanctioned astropaths who train those psi-active citizens of the Protectorate displaying promise, a most regrettable violation of his laws caused by a grave situation. What is the cause of this affliction? Who knows? The schemes of heretics from the cult of the Final Dawn, the treacherous magic of the Xenos. Perhaps it was a planned diversion, or maybe it was a random echo in the Immaterium. Or what say my advisors? Where can we attain a new choir? The astropaths are among the most finely tuned specialists in the Imperium, who beheld the light of the Emperor himself and gained a special bond with our master. I strongly advise the rogue trader to recruit only sanctioned psychers who are capable of keeping their talents in check. If there are not enough, the Inquisition will assist you in locating and acquiring more. Your ladyship, Lady Theodora, not only had enemies in the Expanse, but friends as well. Those whom she helped out, rescued, and saved. I think those people can offer a helping hand. Among them are several powerful planetary rulers who possess both astropaths and a deep respect for your family name. There are a lot of psychers on my home planet Layara, Lord Captain. Do you know why? There, we are not despised, persecuted, or enslaved on the black ships. There, we are sheltered from raids, educated, and respected. Of course, it's all done in secrecy from outsiders, but I can suggest which ruler to contact. Perhaps the Von Valencia's name will be enough to make a deal and obtain a more educated group of astropaths rather than some criminal rabble. All three seem equally valid. Given that this is our capital world, it seems like we should be very careful where we get astropaths from. So I think I'll go with Heinrichs, because I expect the Inquisition to have the most trustworthy source of astropaths. I am counting on the help of the Inquisition, Heinrichs. You will get your astropaths. The Von Valencius dynasty is too important for us to just turn a blind eye in its time of need. A wave of armed skirmishes and detentions swept across the Expanse. The ships carrying these powerful captives have brought the new astropath acquired to Dragonis. Even the most influential could not resist the fearsome agents of the Inquisition, who had requested the ruler's valuable servants to meet the needs of the Von Valencius dynasty. The tragic pestilence of the astropaths has not appeared again, but all of them have reported hearing strange whispers ever since their first day on the planet. Delightful. Sounds good. What are these? They recover all their wounds. Right. Now, did we see these before? The purges will be stopped, of course. Production quotas, right, corpse starch. The disenfranchised will be servitorized. Absolutely not. The purges will stop. Lord Captain, one more thing. A disturbing report has come from the quarries of Vebos 6. These slave laborers have lost their minds. They forget how to use tools, they huddle together and continue to stare aimlessly into space, even under the lashes of the whips, ruining the mining deadlines. Some people get obsessed with using their nails to claw out the blasphemous symbols on the tools, on machines, and even on their own bodies. The most mad have painted the walls of several mines from floor to ceiling with the symbols, and then gone off deep into the mining tunnels. None of them could be found. The wardens consider it a performance to divert attention away from the escapes and an impending rebellion. What are those symbols being scratched out by the slaves? It is hard to give these drawings any sort of intelligible definition. Unnaturally round circles connected by lines, the lines are interrupted by groups of dots. The patterns can sometimes follow some sort of logic and sometimes be unique. I can provide picts of them. After examining the pict, you realize that the symbols are connected through a strange logical sequence. What do my advisors have to say? Spotting an intriguing pattern in the drawing of the symbols left by the prisoners. Hypothesis. They have a practical purpose. Requesting access to the mines and the right to investigate the specimen for the Adeptus Mechanicus. Disappearing prisoners. What is the point of running away from penal servitude if the entire world is a prison cell? No, Shireen, these Ashmags have found some sort of smuggling tunnel network and are hiding there. And the drawings are their secret language, which they use to give orders to their fellow prisoners. I know some guys who can find such secret places and decipher these languages. That seems extraordinarily astute. That makes total sense, given we have determined that they do have a logical sequence to them. If the slaves will continue to disappear for no reason, then unrest will soon follow, whether out of fear of disappearing themselves or out of hope of the possibility of escape. To stifle this, we have to put pressure on the slaves' leaders. My experience suggests that such people can hold more Such people can hold more sway than any warden. I'm going with Jai. That seems to make way too much sense. Jai, have your adroit little friends investigate exactly where my servants wandered off to. For a generous fee, my people could find even the smallest stone tossed to the bottom of the sea stream. A squad of brave smugglers slipped into the mines and discovered long collapsed tunnels, cleared up very recently. An unnaturally even wall covered in strange symbols caught their attention. The tunnel went deep and was not on any of the mining maps. The colony administration gave orders to conduct an archive survey, but banned work in the sector, and have had many guards posted there until the origins of the tunnels could be established. Damn, so we never actually found out if that was true or not. Alright, what do we got here? Gigantic machines will vaporize the rock in their path, clearing the way to the most valuable mineral deposits. The serf clans operating them will never again see the sun, nor will their descendants. For only 3 plasteel. We will condemn them to an eternity of working and toiling beneath the Earth's surface, and all of their descendants, to gain 3 plasteel. 1 more than we could extract from any other planet. Wonderful. That seems like a tremendously excellent use of company resources. Dreamless, the convicts will be of much greater use if they are kept from sleeping by employing a small augmentation. Just work them forever. Work them underground for the rest of their lives, and never let them sleep again. Make sure they toil endlessly until they finally collapse, withered and beaten down by the constant toil of the mines. Anyway, there's a rumor that there are several warp guides among the convicts, unsanctioned semblances of navigators. It may be worth it to hunt them down and press them into service. The abandoned void station in orbit around Vabo 6 may be turned into a secret den for the pirates of the Coronis Expanse. Iron Eye? Creatures caught in the corrosive grenade blast suffer armor decrease. Oh. Interesting. Maybe. The master artisans of the Adeptus Mechanicus deepen the mines on Vabo 6, where thundering seismic cannons will tear through rock to free precious ores. Big Explorer RP. This is more plasteel than the other one. The mining complexes are getting crowded. Individual pods and tranquilizers for the convicts could solve the problem. All allies gain commerce and 4% hit chance. Everyone knows the rogue trader's eagerness to succeed using the most efficient ways possible. This gives extractors and big explorer, so I'm gonna do that one. Alright, Janos is all the way back there. Let's do this first, because we'll need to go back to Dragonis later anyway. Fuck, we gotta just jump, huh? Can't do it from here, though? How do you jump over there, then? Oh, probably from over here, actually. I guess we're gonna go near Janus anyway, then. There was a commotion on lower decks. The chief mutant hunter, who was responsible for eliminating heresy in the hold of the void ship, went mad due to the perilous influence of the warp. The officer climbed the parapet above the central accelerator complex and threatened to jump unless the entire crew immediately submitted to a rigorous examination to uncover physical deformities and unholy perversions. After calculating the time and financial cost of the inspection of thousands upon thousands of crew members and consulting the tech priests about the danger of foreign materials getting into the intake of the accelerator complex, the deranged mutant hunter was graciously allowed to proceed with ending his life in the desired manner. The Imperium released us from its grip. This time. Graciously allowed. Oh, I see. I was like, where do I land? I was expecting more information. A ship full of people and cargo crashed on the planet. Lost speakers are wondering if you have claim to the lost ship. Loot that bitch. Miraculously, the surviving part of the crew placed the cargo in your hands in gratitude for the rescue. I had to come back for that? Man, what a waste of time that was. What's this? Well, we can't do anything else. You might as well just do that. Alright. Damn, why did you make me come all the way back to the planet for that? Whatever, it's fine, I guess. Alright, I had to fight a random encounter battle while going through the warp. It wasn't very exciting, but I have found this on one of the bodies. The yellowed pages of this tattered pamphlet give off the sickly sweet smell of rot. The universe is drenched in foul blood and rampant profligacy. Profligacy? Disgrace, immortality, and lies permeate the air around every world. Agony, suffering, and pain thrive within us. Submit, repent, and accept your fate, to live and die in vileness and villainy. The omnipresent sickness pierces the void that stretches between suns and worlds. All of existence, however perpetual or unshakable it may seem, will one day witness its demise, and turn to dust. The cities of today will become ruins of tomorrow. The rosy-cheeked maiden will turn into a filthy hag, and the soldier who walks the battlefield for the first time will forever stay there, sinking into the bloody, decaying mass of countless others. But open yourself to the truth. If depravity, filth, and vileness are eternal and all-encompassing, then they are things worth bowing to. And therein lies our hope. By resigning ourselves to the rot and deformity of existence and embracing all of its profanity, we can be honest and sincere with our nature. We can evade the doom of oblivion and become one with eternity. Having trodden through all of the world's putrescence and recognized its morbid and irredeemable wretchedness, we can perceive the soft and curative warmth of the true, most merciful of faiths. And thus at last we can discover the path to salvation, into the caring embrace of the great unclean one, to his rotting and all-accepting heart, where there is a place for any true believer. So that's some Nurgle stuff right there. Gotta admit, the Nurgle seems to have the right idea, because all his servants always seem super stoked, dude. Everybody that worships Nurgle is having a great time, regardless of how horrible their existence seems. I can jump from here? Sick. Okay. Let's go. Ah, fuck. A warp breach. This time, trouble came straight to the bridge. Malodorous mist, teeming with swaying, nightmarish figures, has rolled through the ventilation shafts into the command center. The officers are suffocating from this wave of corruption. There's no time to deliberate, to battle. Again, right after fighting a random encounter. Ugh. Alright, what have we here? Ugh. Every time. Oh. Wasteland Wayfarer. Okay. We do not have an extractum yet, of course. That is true. The thing has not finished.
Watch your steps.
Excellent. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
Let us not dawdle. Too hard for
Hear a
simple
strange
mortal.
sound that reminds you of dripping water or the clattering of something sharp against metal. Okay.
I always have a backup plan. I have grace and strength of will. It is sad that such gifts have fallen to one whose soul will never be illuminated by the light of terror.
Limited, petty creatures often wrongly pity others who are, in fact, superior to them. I do not know if I should find it fascinating or repulsive.
God, I hate elves. The ventilation system still works. There are strange gouges on the metal. They look like the claw marks of some beast that was trying to crawl into the shaft.
Keep your wits about you. Never Doubt me.
Excellent. Bah. Bah.
Is there money to be made?
No, hello, please open this door. Oh god, this is very dense location. A thick diary filled with entries written in neat, precise handwriting. Its author was documenting the events of his life with thoroughness bordering on obsession. After browsing through its pages, the following entries catch your attention. Exodus, Watch 1. Never thought this day would come. I'm addressed as Master Captain once more. How many times did I swear never to venture into the void again during those 2 Terran years I spent among the mangled ruins of the unheralded Reckoning's Bridge? Unfortunately, life in a gravity well didn't bring me peace. Reverend Hieronymus, promised me that performing a selfless feat of devotion would bring me serenity. Maybe he's right, but I'm still writing in this journal during the long nights to keep my sanity, just like I did for 2 years. There and 7 Terran years after that here. We'll see if I'll be able to live without the somewhere that is our Void Wanderer's destination. Exodus Watch 237. The crew has reported hearing strange noises from the ventilation shafts for a 3rd time. Shafts, not shifts. Alas, I'm charged with pilgrims, not seasoned voidsmen. The venture scares them, and they've already managed to make up their share of absurd ghost stories. I asked Reverend Gravik to calm them down. He's the official head of the pilgrimage, so they ought to listen to him. Exodus Watch 240. They did not listen. The vent inspection is finished. Just as expected, there was nothing to worry about. Just some torn tubing striking the hull. Exodus, Watch 393. Reverend Hieronymus was wrong. Faith does not bring me peace. I prefer not to take any signs in the theological dispute that has broken out aboard our vessel, ignoring the debates altogether. I'll let Reverend Gravik handle it. I'm slightly concerned about this schism, but as long as both groups are peaceful and agree to follow my orders, they can bicker and shout all they want. Famously chill are various religious organizations. I've no doubt that they got along with each other swimmingly. Exodus Watch 810. The great day has arrived. The Void Wanderer has successfully landed on the planet's surface. I wonder if it'll ever leave again. A settlement is already being built down on the hill. Its official colonial designation is AIII-649 Minoris. But Reverend Gravik said he's going to name it Jezavon. Yes, my screen is small, leave me alone. When we first stepped onto the surface, Reverend Gravik's congregation and the Nourishers used different airlocks to leave the vessel. Seems like they've ceased any and all communication. Exodus Watch 1212. Today, the last pilgrims left the Wanderer for Jezvon. I'm alone once again. They invited me to go with them, but I made up an excuse about needing to keep watch at the reactor since my ship is still being used for powering the settlement. Truth be told, I just didn't want to go with them. They say less than 1,000 pilgrims are still loyal to Gravik. The services at the main temple are performed by the Nourishers, and the St. Drusus statue is cut only up to its knees. I can't understand their beliefs, but I don't think they will help me more than Reverend Hieronymus's faith. Exodus Watch 1287. I was awoken in the night by a dozen pilgrims from Jezvon. They were armed and scared and said the Nourishers had arrested Reverend Gravik. They were bewildered and didn't know what to do, wanting me to act. So act I did. Since Reverend Gravik is the official head of the pilgrimage, I deemed this an incident of civil unrest. I cut power to Jezvon and demanded Reverend Gravik's release via Voxcom. We are holding the line. Exodus Watch 1290. The Nourishers have come to us. Gravik was with them. He was calm and said that the conflict had been resolved. He took the confused pilgrims and their guns with him, and I restored power to the settlement. I have no idea what's going on. Peace. The watch is of no consequence. Today I received the brotherly kiss, and now I believe. I can clearly see the spiral path among the stars set for us by the Emperor Progenitor. Now I can hear my brothers and sisters. I am finally alone no more. Excellent. Well, that went well. Definitely what we were all hoping for right there. Open this bad boy.
There.
Great. How is this? Oh my god, it's terrible. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm guessing we can't go over that.
I always keep my options open.
I sense something
Oh.
nearby.
The metal box was brutally forced open. Why would the ship's owners break into it if they could simply turn the key? Well, you know,
Rise to the top. Or
nothing
get
to
left
actually
in the
get from that, I
dust.
guess. Hunched over the Voxcaster, the hooded man mutters monotonously but empathically into the microphone as he rocks slightly to and fro. In the light of distant stars, our Emperor Progenitor wanders wearily. With thoughts and visions of us, he sends us particles of his life. Though his body suffers, his mind lingers on. Let us therefore nourish him with the light of our souls, with our prayers, with our faith. Argenta frowns. The faithful worship the Emperor under a great many names, and after a great many fashions, and yet I do not like this prayer. Observe silently. The man falls abruptly silent, as though sensing your presence. Then he says, "And here come the afflicted." With a pale hand, he throws back his hood. You see an ugly face with a flat, wide nose, disproportionately large brow ridges, tristless eyes with enormous pupils, a wide, toad-like mouth, and skin that transitions into purple scales at the cheekbones. Standing before you is an abominable subhuman, a mutant. Welcome to the abode of the Nourishers. Henrix recoils, then grimaces and touches his temples if pained by a headache. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Ready your weapon, Ophelia. What are our odds here? Alright. That being's nature has strayed too far from mankind's blessed genome. The Creed sees no humanity in deviations like these, and so commands it that such creatures be exterminated without mercy. Who are you? The man smiles the broadest smile his abominable mouth can produce. I am Lekote, Clamavus of the Nourishers, of the Afflicted. I am he who speaks to our progenitor. This ship belongs to me. What was that you were muttering? A prayer? I was praising the Emperor Progenitor so that my brothers and sisters might repeat the sacred words with me. Under stars unknown, he keeps his vigil and sends us his light. He is exhausted and maimed, but in his graciousness he does not allow himself to forget us, and we are grateful. We know that our prayers will quell his agonizing hunger, and therefore we speak to him. We beckon him so that one day he and his faithful may come to take us under his care. The man rocks gently in place as he makes his speech. Do you mean our god, the master of terror who sits upon the golden throne, or the blasphemous petty deity of whatever cult you're in? I know no god but the Emperor Progenitor. Others are either figments or ephemeral fleshless spirits. Do you believe in the God Emperor, the protector of mankind, who dwells on holy terror? Make your answer forthright and clear, for I stand before you as his chosen servant, and this rogue traitor has been anointed by him. The man's only response is a mocking grin. I see. A blasphemer. Is there anybody else here? Your brothers and sisters? The man responds with joyful laughter. They are here. They are hiding, waiting. Once we were many, but now we are few. Our blood degenerated. Our flesh grew weak. We were on the verge of death. But you have come, and that is good. You and your people will infuse our blood with a new power. Your ship will take the Nourishers to new worlds. We will rise again. I understand this to be a trap, am I correct? Indeed, afflicted one. You have nowhere to run. The mutant shrieks, grinning. May the grace of our progenitor be upon you. His words are piercing, becoming a shrill echo of 100 voices, minds, growing ever louder. It torments your mind, and before you know it, you reach for your weapon. Fucking got him. You hear a clanging echo grow louder in the empty modules, like hundreds of claws striking bulkheads and grabbing onto bars. Whoever is advancing upon you, there are a lot of them. You ought to run for your life before they trap you in this crammed Vox cabin. Argenta's expression brightens. Countless foes in a cumbersome position. O Emperor, I thank thee for giving us another chance to taste the sweetness of battle and the solemn joy of courageous deeds. Let's contact the ship. The Vox spits out a torrent of static, through which you nevertheless manage to catch fragments of words, spoken by a voice not unlike that of your Vox master. Von Valent, command, lock. The signal is lost before you manage to say anything. Heinrichs, evidently at the end of his patience, growls through gritted teeth. We must get out of this trap. We've got to go. Your gaze falls on a rune-covered control panel near the Vox receiver. A green lumen burns beneath the engage airlock seal switch. The switch socket is corroded and does not immediately yield to your touch, but the lumen changes color to blood red, and the whirring of deactivated airlocks raise up from the depths of the ship. Alright, so this is obviously going to be a bit of a sticky situation for us. A heavy stubber. It can do burst fire, but the damage is so low, and it takes 55 strength to hold. Holy shit, that's a lot. This must be a heavy weapon then, right? Doesn't say heavy weapon. Whatever. I'm not going to use it. The damage is so low. Alright, let's, Oh, fuck. Oh my god! It's a fucking Tyrannid! Let's go! Of course it was a Gene Stealer cult. It all makes so much sense suddenly. Oh, I love the Gene Stealer cults. They're so cool. Well, that was easy. Wait, something else has appeared. Ah, of course, of course.
I'll do it.
My path does not end here.
Resuscitation liturgy is required.
Forgot to use controlled shot. Not exactly a great result right there. That was less than ideal. Is that it? Maybe.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Looks like it. Alright, wow. That was easy. Those Gene Stealers didn't put up much of a fight. Gene Stealers are super cool, though. I was really not expecting to see Tyranids in this game. So Gene Stealers, they get sent on ahead of the Hive Fleet so that they can basically turn the population into half Tyranid, half humans, and it connects them into the hive mind. So then, when the Tyranid fleet does arrive, they instantly know everything about the planet, because they can just hook into the minds of all the cultists that they have. And then they'll also, of course, the cult will start attacking whatever planet they're attacking from behind their own lines as well. So it's a sabotage unit, basically. Very cool. Very big fan of the faction. A small planet gently wrapped in amber forests greets you with a ruby-covered dawn. Basil von dem Clarak, the local governor, gives the rogue trader a warm welcome. After several glasses of dasamine, the sweltering ruler asks if Ophelia von Valancius would like to keep him company during the upcoming hunt. Sure. After several hours of riding the local peculiar animals, you make camp in the middle of a golden forest. Basil von dem Clarak, I have said it once, now I can't do it again, points at the sky. A flat disk rises over the horizon, constantly morphing its color and shape. The forest grows silent and empty. You can no longer hear the singing of birds or even the rustle of wind. The governor nods with satisfaction, and a few shapes step into the clearing. Their bodies are twisted by an unknown phenomena, and you watch the freaks with astonishment as they begin to dance to the 30 cackling of their brethren, turning the bony growths and pulsating flesh of their scaly hands toward the unnatural thing in the sky. What the fuck is going on? The governor smiles coyly. You're about to see with your own eyes what is happening here. Let's watch. The hypnotic dance seemed to continue forever. The unfortunate creatures howled, whined, and convulsed, unable to tear their bleeding eyes from the celestial body. When the Pavonine disk outshone even the light of the local star, the physical shells of the things that used to be men burst, releasing beasts onto this plane that not even the most fluent and capable pen could describe. Basil von dem Clarak excitedly explains that the creatures you saw are the children of the great King of Distortion. It is he who is the true god and patron of these fertile grounds. Once every cycle, his chariot shines its light upon the world, and bestows transformation upon his most ardent followers. The rogue trader may become one of his heralds. Express desire to become the herald of the King of Destruction sounds a bit blasphemous. I think I'll just shoot you. The governor's head separates from his neck with a distinctive squelch. A black and brown blood seeps into the soil beneath his corpulent body and is immediately transformed into a writhing tangle of worms that burrow deep into the ground with unnatural speed. You return to the ship pondering what to do with the world, and more importantly, what to do with the King of Distortion. Let's chart a course to the anomaly known as the King of Distortion. The senior officers observe suspicious activity emanating from the twisted celestial body at the heart of the system. The chaplain advises you get ready for a potential encounter with the spawn of the archenemy, so it may be wise to reconsider unless you have holy relics, sacred wards, or blessed effigies of the Emperor. Aflame with a plethora of colors, the distorted celestial disk trembles slightly beyond the endless windows on the captain's bridge of the rogue trader ship, approaches its center. An otherworldly voice, cold and enveloping, enters your mind. What could this puny wretch possibly offer a king? This could be a whole game. This is a tiny little incidental encounter, and this is an entire game of an idea. It's incredible. The officers on the bridge look around, perplexed. Their eyes are full of terror and confusion. Many clutch their head and let out howls of pain. Some empty their stomachs, but most, pale and exhausted though they are, have joined the Lord Captain in resisting the entity's influence. Ask who you are talking to. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Command the entity to release the minds of the Amber Worlders from its grip. The king mocking laughter rings in your ears, and a deep red trickle slowly runs down your nose and over your lips, leaving an aftertaste of salt and metal. Let's see. Let's hit him with a ship-wide prayer. Oh. Deafening gong strikes are heard across hundreds of decks. Your eyes are misted with red, and your gums bleed as your subjects fall to their knees all at once, in a shared prayer to the God Emperor. The holy relics from the ship's temples melt from the ardor of your speech, and the entity screams and writhes inside your brain, struggling to break out. Where the fuck did we get these holy gifts from? Many drop dead during the first minutes of the prayer, unable to resist the corruption. However, others immediately take their place, unfazed by the sight of their fellows turning to dust in seconds. Then a nauseating stench engulfs the ship's decks like a wave, causing people to retch forth their innards. Finally, every deck is plunged into darkness. Ghosts of the past walk among the living, stealing breath from those weak of spirit. And still, the prayer is not extinguished. It is hard to tell if the prayer service has lasted several hours or several days. At some point, you feel your very essence overflow with heat and power. And then, the intruding will falters. The distorted disc vanishes from the void ship's augers, as if it had never been there. And at long last, everything is quiet. As everyone slowly recovers from what just happened, reports begin to come into the captain's bridge. You've lost a third of your crew in the unequal fight, and the fortunate survivors are going to take some time to come round. All hail the rogue trader. A third of the ship? Dude, there's probably like 100,000 people on this ship. God damn. Not a great result, I'd say, but at least we didn't all die. Holy shit. A third of the crew. Fucking warp, dude. God damn. Alright. Last chance of Cyrene. Cyrene's from another game. It's from Dawn of War as well. I imagine this is not Cyrene. The same Cyrene, though. Alright, where's this fucking elf cache? An unidentified object has been located in the system. The artifact reacts to our transmissions by releasing unknown radiation. Most likely of Xeno origin. The cogs are reporting. If you want to get a closer look, we need to close the distance between the vessel and the object. Right, well, let's work our way over there, yeah. Scorpion chain sword. That's only one-handed. It looks pretty fucking big. Well, whenever the wearer deals damage with an attack of opportunity, they gain the Shrouded effect. This does not stack. As long as the wearer has the Shrouded effect, when becoming the target of an attack, they automatically dodge. After that, the Shrouded effect is removed. Interesting. That would be good on an Eldari. Well, no, because they're already very dodgy. The thing is, attacks of opportunity don't really happen all that often, to be honest. Like, most enemies are melee. So, they tend not to be trying to run away. Okay, great, awesome. Remember to stay hydrated. How much promethium? We have we don't have an extractor still. God damn it. At first, it looked like the snowy and desolate planet was devoid of surprises, but the yellow-orange and yellow flickering of the lumens and the notifications from the auger system informed the officers there was a small colony that survived in spite of the harsh climactic conditions. All attempts to hail the colony have failed. Send out a scouting party. The explorers report the dismal condition of the settlement and its inhabitants. Their skin is translucent and pale. Their icy blue eyes see practically no color. Their language is rough and guttural, and their stomachs cannot tolerate anything except a stew made from local roots and mosses. And yet, they are subjects of the Imperium, still loyal to the Emperor. They have mistaken your people for his emissaries. What happened? The local elders woefully reminisced about times long gone. Most of them were still sheltered in their mother's wounds when snow first settled on the verdant fields. Hail ruined the crops and frost hardened the soil. Plants and large beasts that could not sustain themselves were the first to go. They were soon followed by birds and other small animals. Most people in large cities perished, unable to warm themselves and their families. We found Frostpunk. They say the governor and his entourage left the world in the first days of winter, taking all the provisions and fuel with them. No one responded to the pleas from this dying world. The stars remained deaf to the messages transmitted by the planet's Vox stations. These abandoned subjects of the Imperium still managed to save the machines and other valuables, but they were of little use without a supply of Promethean. And yet those who survived eventually adapted to the tribulations that the God Emperor had bestowed upon them. These are the only two options, huh? I have 13 Promethean resources and I can't give them my Prometheum. What a bummer. I guess we'll take the machinery and leave then. Your people had little difficulty subduing the locals. Nobody had the strength to resist. Gaunt and exhausted by their miserable lot, they dolefully watched on as the invaders carried away the wealth, machines, and possessions laboriously scrounged together by generations of their ancestors. The shuttles, glutted with their society's toil, soared high above the oppressive clouds, far out of reach. There was nothing left to help them survive, but who cares about other people's misery? Awesome. Feel really good about that. What good is this 13 Promethean if I could not give them any fucking Promethean? I'm bummed out now. Look out. Bridge, we have an unknown object dead ahead. Not an asteroid. Clearly artificial in nature, but it's larger than Footfall Station. Bridge. Copy that. Report relayed to officer on duty and pilots. Expect visual soon. We have the visual. What the... Incoherent whispering. Look out. This is the Vox Master. I'm adding the pilots, senior officers, and the Lord Captain to this channel. Her Ladyship wishes to assume personal command. Lord Captain, we've requested intel on the object from the Augur Array module, awaiting their response. Oh, well. Might as well just do this then. Lord Captain on the line. No need to engage the augurs. I know what it is. It's called a webway gate. Officer Station. Von Kalox here. What we see before us is a webway gate, an artifact that the Xenos use to get to their sorcerous realm, so to speak. It allows Eldari to get around the sector quickly and serves as a hideout for their most unpleasant tribe, the Drukhari, whom we've already met. You're light here. This gate is just like the one you saw in the Lilithon. The children of Ashran wander the void through such constructs, erected in ancient times. Any ship that passes through such a portal will enter a tangle of paths unfathomable to none but my kin. Is there any augur reports?
According to the available data, the object consists of an unknown material to the Imperium. We are registering an unknown class of energy profile. The engine seers are at a loss about how this technology works exactly, but they did specify that the energometry suggests that the system is holding an active charge. The object appears ready to do whatever it is designed to do.
What is the senior officer's take on this? Oh, that's just them again, okay. Can we activate this device somehow?
Requesting response from the Engineerium.
Apologies.
Apologies, Lord Captain. The tech priests have refused even to consider such a possibility. It would be a violation of the Omnissiah's tenets and an extremely dangerous undertaking. Perhaps a certain companion of yours could. Even if I knew the secret of this gate, I would never surrender it to the monkey. The webway is our kin's sacred refuge and a deadly trap to those such as yourself, Elantak. It seems unnecessary to destroy it. Let's just leave. Yes, Lord Captain. Maneuver engines changing course. Urgent report from the engine seers on the Auger deck. Detecting an energy spike of an unknown nature. Cogitator network overloaded. Peripheral systems offline. Confirming visual changes. The gate... What is that? Lord Captain, we're detecting activity near the object. Observations indicate that the signatures are very similar to ships, Lord Captain. Xenos ships. Why is this coercion? Fire the sacred ordnance on one of the targets. Order received. Executing now. Target hit. One of the Xenos has fallen. Glory to the rogue trader. Wait, what's that? Lord Captain, alert. Another Xenos ship's inbound. Must be a boarding party. What? Where did it come from? It was hiding nearby. It closed in undetected while we were distracted by the construct. It's right by us. It's aiming for the engine module. Lord Captain, emergency. Confirming contact with the enemy ship in the engine area. Confirm... Well, this is going good so far.
Let us purge your
Victory of
enemies,
two
rogue
great
trader.
dynasties, Lord Captain.
What the fuck is this ship doing? What the fuck kind of maneuver was that? Whoever's piloting that escort frigate, give them a fucking raise. That was incredible.
No mercy for the enemies of humanity.
Okay, that was trivially easy. Holy shit. Wow, that was ridiculous. There was no threat at all. Lord Captain, we've dealt with the void ships of these beasts, but a Xenos boarding party has landed on the ship. They're advancing steadily towards the plasma drive. The enforcers are being overrun. They're asking for reinforcements. If we do not help this filth will destroy our vessel from the inside. Naturally. Let's go deal with that now.
You replaced your body with iron, but greed
Is this really the
cannot be
time?
cured with cold metal. Stop looking at my gear with such avarice, monkey.
I have no intention of taking it. Only of studying the unnatural perversions to which you have subjected the gift of technology.
Pascal is so fucking funny, dude. His lines are so good. Lacerated bodies and tattered coveralls bearing the initials of the Void Ship Dynasty that serves this section. What's over here? Okay. Ah, here we go.
More monkey? Look, my kid, they can't wait to die. What's taking so long with the engine? The monkey are already here. Do not rush me, or we will perish alongside them.
This is a big place.
Your disgusting presence
Oh,
out
yeah,
of
you've already
existence.
said this.
Dare to disappoint me. Are you really just looping the same scene again right now? Apparently. Okay. Bug-free game, by the way.
Alright.
A man in an officer's uniform is kneeling and scrabbling around in the mess with blood and dirt on the floor. As soon as you draw nearer, you hear his feverish muttering,
"No, no, no, where is he? Where is my son?"
The lower half of the man's face is grimy with some strange substance, too pale and lumpy to be blood. The officer pays you no attention, his eyes fixed on the floor. Identify? The patch on his jacket bears a familiar crest. It's the symbol of one of the middle decks, one that has no connection to this compartment. The officer's presence here on its own is a violation of the ship's regulations. Examine his face. You take another step closer to the man and peer into his face. Blue veins bulge under his scab-mottled skin, and his bloodshot eyes are darting in every direction, sometimes rolling back into his head so that only the whites are visible. The strange stuff covering the officer's face is a lumpy pink slime mixed with blood that is streaming from his disfigured nose. Why are you not on your assigned deck? Something shifts in the officer's expression, and the feverish gleam in his eyes goes out.
"Tactus, my boy. Swamp devils dragged him off. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm looking for my son. The Emperor's valiant guards came to save my boy. I showed them where the swamp devils dragged Tacticus. I led them right here like they asked. They'll make short work of the nest of those beasts, and I'll keep looking for my boy in the meantime. Mistress, will you help?"
The man's face contorts into a monstrous grimace, a mixture of pain, hope, and madness.
"I believe this monkey is not here by chance. He has been in the clutches of the Dark Ones. His current state may be the bitter fruit of time spent alongside those masters of torment and madness." There are no guards here. You're on the rogue trader's vessel, and knee-deep in Xenos blood and entrails.
I don't understand. Xenos? What Xenos.
For an instant, awareness returns to the officer's eyes as he seems to see his surroundings for the first time. His face slowly stills in horror.
Emperor, preserve us.
The man sneezes and the lower half of his face is coated anew in slime streaming from his nose. The officer casts you a pleading look.
What is this nightmarish scene? I was leading the Emperor's guards to the swamp devil's nest across the marshlands of my own world. But instead of that, I was showing the way to... them?
He points at the corpse of the Xenos with a trembling hand.
Hallucinations. A heretical mirage. The guards, they weren't very chatty. One of them called me something strange. Monkey, I think. And I heard them talking among themselves. Something about seizing the ship. Don't let them through. Through to where, I don't know. Oh, it's coming over me again.
Jai laughs darkly. Blow up the reactor bay, damage the engines, and then disembowel the helpless ship to your Xenos' heart's content. Oh yes, that sounds just like my partner's. Tell me about these hallucinations. When did they start?
I don't remember. It's so strange. It's like I'm here and I'm there at the same time. But I remember many watches ago a visit from a guardsman after the swamp devils attacked. It seemed. He treated my injuries, did something to my face, and said that his comrades would come and do what they had to do. And when the rest of them came, they told me to show them the way to the nest. But we're on the ship. Where did I take them?
A furrow appears between Heinrich's brows as he considers this. It seems like a mental distortion. The work of Xenos, Drukhari, are capable of ensnaring their prey without shackles or fettles. They twist and violate their victims' minds using unholy instruments. Your subject has been forced to experience a nightmare from the past in order to wreak a nightmare upon the present. Your light's mouth twitches. Our cousins are adept at creating concoctions that turn sentient beings into mere beasts, shrieking in agonizing pain. Sometimes the effect is quick, sometimes it leaves just enough time for the victims to divulge all that they know. Argento's voice trembles with sorrow and rage. Until the last beast of that race of enemies of humanity are dead, the innocent will continue to suffer. Is this not a sign that must work? Is this not a sign that must work doggedly to rid the universe of Xenos? It seems you are not in your right mind.
I think you're right, your ladyship. Reason has fled me, I can't hold out. Even now, I can see the march where Tactus vanished just behind you.
The man's face twists into a mask of pain and grief. A powerful spasm racks his body. Jai looks at you. Whatever they did to him, Shireen, there's no way back for him now. If it were up to me, I'd let him slip back into the illusion, where there is still hope of finding Tictus. Let him go at peace with himself, and not as a traitor. God, that's such a sad dialogue. I think I hear your son calling you.
What? Tictus?
The man laughs weakly, his eyes now fully clouded with madness.
Tactus, my boy, I'm coming.
The officer's body slides to the floor and convulses for a time before going still. Despite his agonizing death, the dead man's face shows no sign of suffering. He had found peace before the end. That kind of ruined the moment a little bit. You know, that was really sad right until the... and the guy just flopping. You bend over the body. Despite the numerous bloodstains on his skin and clothes, the officer had not been seriously wounded. The only noticeable injury is on his face. His nose is disfigured and a red slimy substance is streaming from it, staining his mouth and chin. Take the body to the infirmary and try to identify the cause of his madness. Do you have anything good on you, though? Alright. Hold on. I know that there's a bomb over there, but, you know, we don't seem to be rushing too much, so let's just do our little accounting first. We have these. Open the door, please. Pascal, please.
My success
Thank you.
is irrefutable, sir.
Keep your wits about you.
Yoink. Yoink. Alright, now I suppose
have a
we can
backup
disarm the bomb.
A job for me.
The bomb produces short electromagnetic pulses that disable power grids and device. Okay.
I better myself.
The charge
through
has
my
been safely
service.
diffused. Easy
Pay
peasy.
attention.
What's this? Long splinter rifle. Do we not have one? Only one. Oh my god, this one is a lot better. Holy shit, get this trash out of here. Alright, well, that was great. That wasn't sad at all. Alright, go deal with the Drukhari on the lower decks, and then just be kind of bummed out for a little bit when you're done, you know?
Reckoning will be swift.
Oh, fuck.
My
Oh,
pleasure.
good thing we already had the combat.
That was a problem for you.
In hindsight, it would have made a lot more sense to go this way around, but I wasn't really thinking about it too deeply.
I
I
always
very
keep my
rarely
options
do, though.
open.
I'm not one for thinking things through logically. Tend to just kind of throw myself into there. You know how it is. Now, back to business.